Coronavirus infections rise. Mayor Bill de Blasio putting New York City into a state of emergency.
In light of all those changing realities, it is time now to declare a state of emergency in New York City, where over 500 people would gather, parades, rallies, concerts, sports events, professional conferences, etc. We'll now no longer have gatherings, and I unfortunately suspect that will be a number of months.
My next guest led New York City through its last great crisis, September 11th. Rudy Giuliani, former New York City mayor, joins me now. Rudy, great to see you. Is de Blasio, a second-guess people? It's a complex series of decisions you have to make, weighing public safety versus freedom and the economy, business. But he said months. Is that the right move?
Well, first of all, on declaring a state of emergency, I wouldn't second-guess him. I actually am surprised that he hasn't been around for months. I mean, the president is criticized unfairly. He was involved in this in December. De Blasio was, I guess, sleeping, which is what he usually does. The governor, I actually wrote a note and a tweet praising the governor for getting on top of this 4 or 5 weeks ago. I didn't see de Blasio at all. When we had West Nile virus in New York City, I held a press conference the next day on a Saturday and held a press conference every single day until we got control of West Nile virus. The governor didn't have to come in and take over. This guy's like 4 or 5 weeks late. Now, is he right about a state of emergency? He has the statistics. I will not second guess him on it. To say months is a terrible mistake. First of all, he doesn't know it's going to be months. So I always believed that you tell people the truth, and then you leave them during a crisis with a sense of hope. So on September 11, the worst day in the history of the city, I finished it by saying that then people in New York are going to come out of this, and they're going to come out of it stronger. That's after I honestly described to them how devastating everything was. And that isn't a leader. That's a guy, first of all, way too late. I mean, he's running for the fire, and the fire has already destroyed half the building. And everybody else has been there, and he wants to get on it. And then just a simple mistake like that for many months. Now, it may be many months. It may be a few weeks. A state of emergency is a very, very, very serious thing to do.
Well, and Rudy, I think one of our friends over at FBN said this yesterday. You do have to think long term while you deal with a short term problem. You can't just completely throw out the window the long term implications of the precedent that we are setting in the United States every time a pathogen escapes from a foreign country and comes here, especially like China, it's not necessarily our great friend, that everything is going to shut down in the United States. I mean, it's a weapon that becomes a weapon in and of itself to someone with bad motives. That's what I'm concerned about.
It's one of the reasons why I tried very hard to get New York City awake again right after September 11th.
You bet.
I wanted to say to the terrorists, hey, you can't come here and we can take some risk. We're tough. We're tough people. You're not going to ruin our economy. Actually, there was just a beautiful article in the Daily News by Christine Nicholas pointing out that I got Broadway back 2 weeks faster than they wanted to. And I got them back for a very specific purpose. They weren't making any money. Nobody was coming, but they were performing every night, and eventually they all came back. Yes, leadership requires giving people a balance. You got to give them what they need to be safe, but you also have to give them what they need to be realistic and hopeful. De Blasio blew it in 2 ways. First of all, he's too late. Nobody's going to listen to him.
We made that point. All right, okay.
And number 2, I know I made it, but I just made it one more time. Sorry.
I know, but it's cable TV, Rudy. You're not on my old radio show. You can talk for an hour, all right? But Rudy, they're saying that this is worse than 9/11. People like Joe Scarborough, people are saying, like John Meacham, the esteemed biographer. I've always liked John Meacham, but now he's speculating that this could lead to a depression.
Well, how does he know that?
Exactly, but this is what's sending people to the grocery store to buy 100 pallets of water.
There's no way to know whether it's going to lead to a depression, whether in some ways there are going to be conflicting things that actually help the economy and the money that's put into health care and everything else. A lot of people overestimated 9/11. I did. I overestimated the estimate. The estimate that I made of losses was 3 times what it turned out to be, because I didn't consider all of the relief work that was going to be done that pumped up the economy and created jobs in other areas. So these are predictions that These are predictions that are made from
We need the
political
facts.
bias.
Yeah,
They're not made from intelligent thinking. They're made from
We
political
need
bias.
transparency and facts and hope. And
And-
sometimes, every now and then, some humor. I think we need that too.
And a lack of pandering
and
would be
prayers.
good.
Yeah, Rudy, thank you so much. It's great to have you on tonight and great to see you tonight.
Thank you.